is Iris. I am 24 years old. This is my story. It is not an easy story to tell. It is a story about a difficult time in my life. A time when I felt lost. A time when I had no choice. My life used to be very simple. I lived with my mother in a small apartment, just the two of us. Our home was not big, but it was full of love. My mother was my whole world. She was a kind woman. She had a warm smile and a gentle laugh. She taught me how to be strong. She taught me how to be good. But then my mother got sick. The sickness came slowly at first. A little cough. A feeling of being tired. Then it got worse. The doctors told us it was a serious illness. They said she needed special medicine. And the medicine was very expensive. My heart broke when I heard the news. I looked at my mother. She was so brave. She tried to smile for me, but I could see the fear in her eyes. I had a simple job at a flower shop. I loved working with flowers, the colors, the smells. It was a happy job, but it did not pay much money. It was enough for our rent and food, but it was not enough for the new medicine, not even close. So I had to find a new job, a better job, a job that paid more money. I looked everywhere. I read the newspapers. I searched on the internet. It was very difficult. Many jobs needed special skills. Skills I did not have. I only finished high school. I did not go to college. We did not have the money for that. Every day I looked for a job. And every day my mother got a little weaker. The doctor said we had to start the medicine soon. I felt a heavy weight on my shoulders. It was the weight of worry, the weight of fear. I was desperate. I would do anything to help my mother. Anything. Then I saw an advertisement. It was for a personal assistant at a big company downtown. The company was called Sterling Enterprises. The advertisement said they needed someone organized and hardworking. It said the salary was very good. Very good. My heart jumped when I saw the number. It was enough. It was enough for the medicine and for everything else. I sent my application. I did not think they would call me. I was just a girl from a flower shop. But they did. They called me for an interview. I was so nervous. I wore my only nice dress. It was a simple blue dress. I went to the tall glass building. It was so big, so shiny. It made me feel very small. I went to the top floor. The office was beautiful. It had a big window with a view of the whole city. A woman told me to wait. I sat on a leather sofa. My hands were sweating. Then a man came out of a big office. He was tall and wore an expensive suit. He looked very important. "Iris?" he asked. His voice was deep and powerful. "Yes," I said, standing up. "I am Mr. Sterling," he said. "Come in." His office was huge, bigger than our whole apartment. He sat behind a large wooden desk. He told me to sit down. He looked at my application. He asked me questions about my old job, about my skills. I was honest. I told him I did not have much experience. But I told him I was a very hard worker. I told him. I learned quickly. He looked at me for a long time. His eyes were cold, like gray stones. It felt like he could see right through me. He could see my fear. He could see my desperation. "Why do you want this job so badly, Iris?" he asked. His voice was quiet. I did not want to tell him about my mother. It was personal. It was painful. But I felt I had to be honest. "My mother is sick," I said softly. "She needs expensive medicine. I need this job to pay for it." A small, strange smile appeared on his face. It was not a kind smile. It disappeared quickly. "I see," he said. He was silent for a moment. I thought he was going to say no. I thought he would tell me to leave. But then he said, "The job is yours. You can start on Monday." I could not believe it. I felt a huge wave of relief. It was so strong, I almost cried. "Thank you, Mr. Sterling," I said. My voice was shaky. "Thank you so much. You will not regret this." "I know," he said, still with that cold look in his eyes. "I know I won't." I walked out of that building feeling like I was in a dream. I had the job. I could buy my mother's medicine. I could save her. I felt so happy, so grateful. I did not know then. I did not know that my difficult time was just beginning. The first week was normal. Mr. Sterling gave me simple tasks. I answered his phone calls. I organized his schedule. I typed his letters. The work was not hard. He was a strict boss. He wanted everything to be perfect. But I was a hard worker. I made sure everything was perfect. He was a very busy man. He had many meetings. Many important people came to see him. I learned a lot just by watching him. He was smart. He was powerful. He always got what he wanted. At the end of the first week, he gave me my first paycheck. It was more money than I had ever seen in my life. I went straight to the pharmacy. I bought my mother's medicine. That evening, I gave her the first dose. I watched her take it. I felt a small bit of hope. Maybe everything would be okay now. But slowly, things started to change at work. Mr. Sterling started to ask me to do things that were not part of my job. Small things at first. "Iris," he said one afternoon, "go and get me a coffee from the special cafe 3 blocks away." I liked their espresso. My job was to be his assistant, not his coffee girl. There was a coffee machine in the office, but I did not say anything. I just said, "Yes, Mr. Sterling." I went and got his coffee. It was a small thing. I did not want to make him angry. I needed this job. A few days later, he gave me his coat. "Take this to the dry cleaners," he said. He did not ask. He commanded. "And pick it up tomorrow morning before you come to work." So the next morning, I had to wake up an hour early. I had to take a different bus to go to the dry cleaners. Then I had to rush to get to the office on time. It made my morning very stressful. But I did it. I did not complain. I brought his coat to his office. I hung it up for him. He did not even say thank you. He just nodded. The personal tasks became more frequent. He asked me to buy his lunch, to polish his shoes, to order flowers for his wife. He never said please. He never said thank you. He just gave me orders. I felt less like an assistant and more like a servant. I did not like it. It made me feel small. It made me feel unimportant. At the flower shop, my old boss always said please and thank you. She respected me. Mr. Sterling did not respect me. He saw me as a tool, something he could use. I tried to ignore the bad feelings. I told myself it was okay. This was just part of the job, a very well-paying job. I thought about my mother. I saw her face in my mind. She was starting to feel a little better with the medicine. She had more energy. Her smile was returning. That was what mattered. I could handle a difficult boss. For my mother, I could handle anything. But Mr. Sterling knew. He knew I was trapped. He knew I would not say no. And he started to push the line, further and further. One Saturday, he called me. It was my day off. I was at home, cleaning the apartment. "Iris, I need you to come to the office," he said. "But Mr. Sterling, it's Saturday," I said. "I know what day it is," he said. His voice was sharp. "I have some work I need you to do, important work. If you value your job, you will be here in 1 hour." Then he hung up. I felt a mix of anger and fear. It was my only day to rest, to spend time with my mother. But he threatened my job. If you value your job, of course, I valued my job. It was my mother's lifeline, so I put on my work clothes. I told my mother I had to go in for a few hours. She looked worried, but she nodded. I went to the office. It was empty and quiet. He was in his office, working. "Good, you're here," he said without looking up. "The plants in my office need to be watered, and the windows are dirty. Clean them." I was shocked. I was his personal assistant, not the office cleaner. We had a cleaning service for that. They came every evening. "But Mr. Sterling," I started to say. He finally looked up. His eyes were like ice. "Is there a problem, Iris?" he asked. "This is a very good job. Many people would love to have this job. Many people who do not have distractions, like a sick mother." His words hit me like a slap in the face. He said it. He used my mother against me. He knew my weakness. He knew I was desperate. In that moment, I understood. He had all the power, and I had none. Tears pricked my eyes, but I did not let them fall. I would not give him the satisfaction of seeing me cry. I just nodded. "No, Mr. Sterling. No problem." I found the cleaning supplies. I watered his big, green plants. Then I cleaned his huge office windows. It took me 2 hours. He sat at his desk the whole time, working, ignoring me. When I was finished, I stood there, waiting. "You can go now," he said, still not looking at me. I walked home that day feeling dirty. Not from the cleaning, but from the humiliation. He had made me his slave, and I had let him. I had no choice. I kept repeating that to myself. I had no choice. The terrible things did not stop. They got worse. He started to make me work late almost every night. I had to cancel plans with my few friends. I barely saw my mother anymore. I would leave before she woke up. I would come home after she was asleep. The only time we had was on Sundays. I lived for Sundays. He started to give me his personal, private work to do. One time, he gave me a stack of papers. "My son has a history essay due on Monday," he said. "He is too busy with his sports. Write it for him." I could not believe it. He wanted me to cheat for his son. "Mr. Sterling, that's not right," I whispered. "Right? What is right, Iris?" he said with a cold laugh. "Is it right that your mother's life depends on a job? On me? Just write the essay. Make it good." So I did. I stayed up all night in the office. I researched the topic. I wrote a long essay for his lazy son. I felt ashamed. I was a good person, an honest person. My mother taught me to be honest, but I was doing something dishonest. For him, for this job. The worst day came a few months later. He was having a big, important party at his house on a Friday night. He told me I had to be there. "Am I invited to the party?" I asked, confused. He laughed, a loud, cruel laugh. "You invited. Don't be silly, Iris. You will be working. You will help the catering staff. You will serve the drinks. Make sure all my guests are happy." I felt sick. He wanted me to be a waitress at his party, in front of all his rich and powerful friends. It was the ultimate humiliation. "Please, Mr. Sterling," I begged. "Please don't make me do this. It's not part of my job." His face became hard. "Everything I tell you to do is part of your job," he said. "Your job is to do what I say. Or you can find another job. But I don't think you will find one that pays this well. Do you?" He smiled that horrible smile again. "Think about the medicine, Iris. It is very expensive." He was a monster. A cruel, heartless monster. He knew he had me trapped, and he enjoyed it. He enjoyed his power over me. That Friday, I went to his house. It was a mansion. A huge, beautiful house. It was like something from a movie. There were so many people there, all wearing fancy clothes and expensive jewelry. And then there was me. I had to wear a black dress and a white apron, like a maid. I spent the whole night carrying a tray of drinks. "Champagne?" I would ask, trying to keep my voice steady. "Wine." Some people were polite. They smiled and said thank you. But others looked right through me, like I was invisible, like I was not a person. Then I saw him, Mr. Sterling. He was standing with a group of his friends, laughing. He saw me. He looked right at me. He raised his glass in a small toast, a secret message just for me. It said, "Look at you. You are mine. You will do whatever I say." I wanted to run. I wanted to throw the tray of drinks on the floor and scream. But I could not. I thought of my mother's face, her gentle smile. I needed this job. I had no choice. I hid in the kitchen for a few minutes. I took deep breaths. I tried not to cry. A woman from the catering company saw me. She was older, with kind eyes. "Are you okay, honey?" she asked. I just nodded. I could not speak. "Tough boss?" she asked quietly. I nodded again. A single tear rolled down my cheek. She patted my shoulder. "You're a strong girl," she said. "Don't let him break you." Her kind words gave me a little bit of strength. I wiped my tear away. I went back out. I worked for the rest of the night. I was a ghost, a machine, serving drinks, clearing empty glasses. I got home very late that night. My mother was asleep. I looked at her peaceful face. I felt a terrible pain in my heart. I was saving her life, but I was losing my own. I was losing my dignity, my self-respect, my soul. I sat in the dark for a long time, crying silently. How much more could I take? The weeks after the party were a gray blur. I felt like a robot. I went to work. I did my job. I did all the extra, humiliating tasks. I said yes, Mr. Sterling, to everything. I did not fight back anymore. I had no energy left. The spark inside me was dying. My mother noticed the change in me. "Iris, you look so tired," she said one Sunday. We were sitting in our small living room. "You are too thin. Are you eating properly?" "I'm fine, Mom," I lied. I tried to smile. "Just busy at work." "Is your boss a good man?" she asked. Her eyes were full of concern. I could not tell her the truth. It would break her heart. She would feel guilty. She would tell me to quit the job. And I could not do that. So I lied again. "Yes, Mom, he's a very good boss. He is very kind." The lie tasted like poison in my mouth. I felt so alone. I had no one to talk to. I couldn't tell my mother. My friends would not understand. They would just say, "Quit." They did not understand the desperation, the feeling of having no choice. Mr. Sterling seemed to enjoy my quiet submission. He became even more demanding. He would call me late at night with stupid questions. He would send me on long, pointless errands all over the city. He did it because he could, because he liked to see me run. One day, he called me into his office. "My wife's birthday is next week," he said. "I need you to plan a surprise party for her." So I did. I spent hours and hours planning. I found a beautiful restaurant. I ordered a special cake. I sent out invitations. I did everything. It was a huge amount of work, on top of my normal job. The day before the party, he called me into his office again. "I have decided to cancel the party," he said calmly. "What?" I was shocked. "But everything is booked. I've paid for everything." "Cancel it," he said. "I have decided to take my wife on a trip instead. That will be her surprise." He leaned back in his chair. "And of course, you will have to get all the money back from the restaurant and the bakery. I expect a full refund." I knew it was impossible. The restaurant had a cancellation policy. So did the bakery. We would lose a lot of money, his money, but he did not care. He was testing me. He was playing a cruel game. I spent the whole day on the phone. arguing with managers, begging them to understand. It was stressful. It was horrible. I managed to get some of the money back, but not all of it. When I told Mr. Sterling, he looked angry. "Not all of it," he said. "That is not good enough, Iris. I am disappointed in you. The money you lost will come out of your next paycheck." That was it. That was the moment something inside me snapped. It was not about the money. It was the injustice. It was the cruelty. He had made me plan the party. He had canceled it for no reason. And now he was punishing me for his own game. For the first time in a long time, I felt a spark of anger. A real, hot anger. It burned through the fear. It burned through the sadness. I looked at him, really looked at him. He was just a man, a rich, powerful man, but also a small, cruel man, a bully, and I was tired of being his victim. "No," I said. My voice was quiet, but it was strong. It did not shake. He looked surprised. "What did you say?" he asked. I said no. I repeated, "You will not take that money from my paycheck. It was not my fault. It was yours." He stood up. He was much taller than me. He tried to intimidate me. "You are forgetting your place, Iris," he said in a low, dangerous voice. But I was not scared anymore. The anger had made me brave. "No," I said, standing up too. "I am remembering my place. I am a person. I am not your toy. I am not your slave." I walked over to his desk. I took my office keys out of my pocket. I put them on his big, polished desk. "I quit," I said. The look on his face was a mix of shock and anger. He was not used to people saying no to him, especially not me. "You can't quit," he said. "You need this job, your mother." "Do not speak about my mother," I said, my voice rising. "You used my mother to control me, to hurt me. But you will not do it anymore." I turned around. I walked towards the door. My heart was pounding. My legs felt weak, but I felt free. For the first time in months, I felt light. "You will be sorry, Iris," he shouted after me. "You will come crawling back." I did not look back. I just kept walking. I walked out of his office. I walked out of that tall glass building. I did not say goodbye to anyone. I just walked out into the sunshine. And I took a deep breath, a breath of fresh, clean air, the air of freedom. Walking home, I felt a mix of emotions. I was terrified. I had no job. I had no money saved. How would I buy my mother's medicine next month? The fear was real. It was big. But underneath the fear, there was another feeling. A feeling of pride. I had stood up for myself. I had said no to a bully. I had taken back my life. That feeling was strong. When I got home, my mother was in the kitchen. She saw my face. She knew something was wrong. "Iris, what is it? What happened?" I sat down at our small kitchen table, and I told her everything. The truth about Mr. Sterling, about the coffee, the cleaning, the essay, the party, everything. I cried as I told her. I let out all the pain and humiliation I had been holding inside for so long. My mother listened silently. She held my hand. Her eyes were full of tears, not for herself, but for me. When I finished, she hugged me. She held me tight. "Oh, my brave girl," she whispered. "My poor, brave girl, I am so sorry. I am so, so sorry." "It's okay, Mom," I cried. "I did it for you." "No," she said, pulling away to look at me. Her face was full of love and strength. "No job is worth this. No medicine is worth your soul. You did the right thing, Iris. You did the right thing. I am so proud of you." Her words meant everything to me. She was not angry. She was not disappointed. She was proud. In that moment, I knew I had made the right choice. We would face the future together, whatever happened. The next few weeks were very hard. We had very little money. We ate simple food, rice and vegetables. I started looking for a new job immediately. I went everywhere. I filled out so many applications. The fear was always there. The worry about the medicine. Some days, I felt hopeless. I thought about Mr. Sterling's words. "You will come crawling back." I was tempted, just for a moment. But then I remembered his cold eyes. I remembered how I felt standing in that party with an apron on. And I knew I could never go back. I would rather be poor and free than rich and a slave. I sold some of my mother's old jewelry. It wasn't much, but it was enough to buy the medicine for 1 more month. It gave us a little more time. Then one day, I got a phone call. It was from the woman who owned the flower shop where I used to work. Her name was Mrs. Gable. "Iris, dear, I heard you left your big office job," she said. Her voice was kind and warm. "Yes, I did," I said. "Are you looking for work?" she asked. "Yes, I am," I said, my heart starting to beat a little faster. "Well," she said, "the girl who replaced you is leaving. I need someone to manage the shop. Someone I can trust. The job is yours if you want it." Tears filled my eyes. Happy tears this time. "Manage the shop?" I asked. "But I don't have experience managing." "You have a good heart, Iris," she said. "And you love flowers. You will learn. The pay is not as much as your office job, I am sure. But it is a good, honest living. The pay was less, but it was enough. If we were careful, it would be enough for the rent, the food, and the medicine." "Yes," I said. "Oh, yes, Mrs. Gable. Thank you. I want the job." I went back to the flower shop. It felt like coming home. The smell of the roses and lilies filled the air. Mrs. Gable taught me how to order flowers, how to manage the money, how to help customers. I loved it. I was working hard, but it was happy work. I was respected. I was valued. My mother's health slowly improved. The doctors were happy. She started to help me at the shop sometimes, just for a few hours. She enjoyed being around the beautiful flowers. Seeing her smile, seeing her get stronger every day, was the best reward. My life is simple again. But it is a good simple, a happy simple. I don't have a lot of money. I don't live in a fancy apartment. But I have my mother. I have my dignity. And I have my freedom. I learned something important from that terrible time. I learned that your self-respect is more valuable than any job, than any amount of money. There are bad people in the world, like Mr. Sterling. People who will try to use you, to control you. They see your desperation, and they use it as a weapon. If you are listening to this, and maybe you are in a bad situation, maybe you feel trapped, maybe you feel like you have no choice, please know that you do. You always have a choice. The choice might be hard. It might be scary. But choosing yourself, choosing your dignity, is always the right choice. It's okay to feel scared. I was scared every single day. But deep inside, you are strong, stronger than you think. Don't let anyone break you. Don't let them take away your light. You are not a slave. You are a person. And you deserve to be treated with respect. Leaving that job was the hardest and the best thing I ever did. It was the beginning of my real life, a life that is mine. Keep going. You can find your way out. You can be free. You can do this too.